Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take a whole stack of fascinating sources and, well, we pull out the really important bits of knowledge and insight just for you.
That's right.
Our mission today is to sift through this really incredible mix of conversations and find those surprising facts, those connections you might not expect.
Yeah, we've got quite the collection.
We're talking constitutional quirks, movie remakes, even some bizarre city histories.
Yeah.
Basically, we're giving you a shortcut to being, truly well-informed.
And we've got some really eclectic stuff to explore today. It offers this unique lens on human behavior, those unexpected twists in history, and just the peculiar ways culture shifts. Get ready for some moments, I think.
It's the AI episode. I hope it works. I hope it doesn't work. Maybe we'll be back next week. Maybe not. It's the Maximum Party Zone.
Okay, let's unpack this first one. The Fifth Amendment. We've all heard plead the fifth, right? But how does that actually play out in real life? Or maybe funnier, for an international friend?
Oh, right. The sources mentioned this this friend from overseas who was genuinely baffled.
Yeah.
Yeah, they apparently thought pleading the fifth was like some kind of American holiday, like the 5th of July or something.
Slight chuckle. The 5th of July. That's perfect. It really shows how ingrained that is for us, but totally opaque maybe to someone else.
Exactly. It leads to these, really funny misunderstandings.
It makes you wonder, what if you could plead other amendments? You're in court.
Uh-huh.
Why'd you do it? I plead the second. Bang.
Chuckles. Or maybe I plead the fourth. Search that, buddy.
Definitely adds drama. Okay, so from legal stuff, let's jump to this real-life improv festival in Tampa, Florida, and specifically the quirky city it was in, Ybor City.
Ah, Ybor City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sources described it as having the, quote, spirit of Bourbon Street.
Okay.
Closed streets, those delightful,
Well,
maybe not delightful, smells of human vomit, apparently, and lots of terrible pizza places.
delightful smells, right? Sounds like a party town.
Definitely a place people go to, let loose.
And apparently the dress code is optional. The sources had this anecdote about a young woman wearing just electrical tape, strategically placed, mind you.
Oh, wow.
She walks into a bar, totally fine, but then a shirtless guy tries to get in and he gets kicked out.
So tape is okay, but no shirt is not.
Apparently, they even coined a term for it, the Tampa tank top.
The Tampa tank top. I love it. That really says something, doesn't it?
It does capture a certain eccentricity.
Yeah, like a playful defiance, maybe?
Right.
And it connects to the history, too.
Yeah.
Ybor City was actually the cigar rolling capital of the world for a long time.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, up until the 1930s, maybe 40s.
Yeah.
And the reason, it's kind of amazing. Tampa's heat and humidity.
How does that work?
Well, the oppressive heat and humidity, as the source put it, made the whole city essentially a giant humidor.
No way.
Yeah, kept the cigars perfectly moist, stopped them from drying out. It was like this perfect climate for the industry.
That's incredible. And it was mostly Cuban and Italian immigrants doing the rolling, right? Especially
Yeah.
Cubans from before the revolution.
Exactly. Created this really rich cultural mix, which is interesting now it hosts improv festivals.
Yeah, although the sources did note the median age at these festivals is rapidly shooting up.
Ah, so maybe less of a cool new thing for kids, more of an insider gathering now.
Seems like it. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Tampa connection? Cesar Romero.
The Joker from the 60s Batman show.
Very same. Apparently lived in Tampa.
Wow. And he was, wasn't he related to someone famous?
Yeah. Grandson of Jose Marti, the Cuban freedom fighter.
That's a connection I never would have made. And he famously kept the mustache, right? For the Joker.
He did. Just painted right over it. White paint on the mustache.
Total commitment. Or maybe just stubbornness.
Either way, iconic. It makes you compare him to, say, Burgess Meredith as the Penguin.
Ah, Rocky's coach.
Exactly. And I kind of think the Penguin might be more iconic now, just because the Joker's been redone so many times,
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Though with Colin Farrell doing that Penguin show.
Oh, right. That could definitely change things. Okay, so moving on from pop culture history to ideas just floating around. Remember how we kicked around that idea for a show about an MMA fighter pulling off a heist?
Vaguely. Yeah. Why?
Well, turns out we were kind of ahead of the curve.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a real limited series is coming out soon. Fight Night, the $1 million heist. It's about an armed robbery right after Muhammad Ali's comeback fight in 1970.
No kidding. So our crazy idea wasn't so crazy after all.
Manifested right into reality. It sort of reminds me of that self-defense advice you sometimes see, like if someone grabs your arm, just run away.
Chuckles. Yeah. Simple but effective.
Right. Forget complicated moves. My 3 best friends are, 9/11 and a good pair of shoes.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Escape is key.
Okay, from heists to headlines. The Matthew Perry death investigations. There was something weird there, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Sillies just pointed out those really absurd early news reports, the graphics on screen.
What about them?
They made it look like the Friends cast members were the ones being arrested, not the actual suspects.
Seriously, like all 5 of them conspired.
It looked that way. Just completely misleading visuals. Showed the cast photos next to the arrest headlines. A real example of, sensationalism, maybe getting ahead of the facts.
Wow. It's like the Seinfeld finale, but for real.
Yeah.
And speaking of TV news stuff, the words at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah. The ticker.
Well, apparently the technical term is Chyron.
Chyron, like the centaur.
I guess. But it's actually a brand name, like Kleenex or Xerox.
Huh. So some company named Chyron made the first graphics generator.
That's the story. I like to picture a guy named Toby Chyron getting laughed at in school. Your invention's crazy, Toby.
Chuckles. Toby Chyron. It does have a ring to it. It's funny how brand names become the actual word for things. And sticking with odd concepts for a second, the sources also touch on supervillain death rays.
Ah, yes, the classic death ray.
And how impractical they really are. But the funny bit was imagining a supervillain complaining about, like, gentrification.
Gentrification? How?
Where am I supposed to build my secret lair now? They turned all the abandoned warehouses into artisanal cheese shops and loft apartments.
The struggle is real for modern supervillains. It seems the world is just full of these unexpected, kind of bizarre stories, like unusual summer camps.
Oh, yeah. Get this. Meatball camp.
Meatball camp. Please explain.
6 weeks. Summer camp. Every single meal is meatballs.
Every meal. Breakfast meatballs.
I don't know about breakfast, but the source implied constant meatballs. They even had make your own meatball day. Imagine the sheer quantity.
That sounds intense. A true test of, gastronomic endurance.
Definitely. And there were others too, like vague martial arts camps for kids. What are they even learning?
Who knows? And then there was that camp in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, the one that got flooded.
Yeah, with raw sewage after a hurricane, leading to jokes like, grab a broom camp.
Or camp diarrhea. Grim humor, but understandable.
Yeah. But okay, from sewage to luxury, the sources described the largest high school in the U.S. by square footage. Huge place, 3,800 students.
Okay.
And its teacher's lounge. Described as being like a gentleman's club.
A gentleman's club in a high school.
Apparently. Fireplace, wood paneling, oil paintings.
You kidding?
No, a salad bar, a hot bar, and even staff serving the teachers.
Wow. That is unexpected. I wonder what the students' cafeteria is like.
Right. You can just picture a substitute teacher trying to pull rank on the salad bar attendant.
Chuckles. Definitely a different vibe. It reminds me of those almost mythical stories about people who can just size someone up instantly, like that supposed secret agent guy.
Oh, yeah. Who could tell if someone was a shark or a pussy?
Exactly. Just by looking at them. Probably nonsense, but a fun idea. Okay, now for some truly bizarre real stories, starting with a monkey burglar.
A monkey burglar. When?
1916, Evanston, Illinois. Newspaper report.
Okay, tell me more.
So there's this strolling hand organ man, with the little monkey.
Classic image.
And apparently he trained the monkey to sneak into open windows and steal jewelry. The paper said the monkey showed a disposition to enter open windows.
A disposition? That's amazing. Can you imagine trying that today, getting an organ grinder monkey?
Right. You'd need like a QR code on the monkey's vest for tips.
Scan here to tip Jocko. Venmo the monkey.
The sources also mentioned a 1982 crime thriller called Monkey Mission, apparently about a trained monkey thief, and that led to the joke concept of Billy Ocean's 11.
Billy Ocean's 11, like Ocean's 11.
But with pop singers robbing a casino, Billy Ocean, maybe Lionel Richie?
That needs to be a movie. Okay, next level, bizarre. Black fungus in Chernobyl.
Yeah, this is wild. This fungus It actually eats radiation.
Eats radiation.
It's got melanin, like in our skin, but it uses it for something called radiosynthesis. It converts gamma radiation into energy, kind of like plants use photosynthesis for sunlight.
So it thrives on radiation.
Exactly. It grows better the closer it gets to the most radioactive sources, like a superhero fungus or something.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was apparently talking about this, right? Like, even radiation can give life. Still working on that impression, clearly.
It's getting there. But yeah, it completely flips what we think about where life can exist. And it leads to this weird Chernobyl tourism.
People toured Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah. They have landmarks like the Elephant Foot, which is this highly radioactive mass of melted reactor core.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
It is. The warnings are intense, but also darkly funny, like don't bring your shoes home.
Because they're radioactive.
Yep. And apparently at night, you might see this glow, like the aurora borealis.
Yeah.
But it's not the aurora. It's the radiation itself.
Okay, that's deeply unsettling. Let's maybe shift from a radioactive fungus to something warmer family traditions?
Yes, definitely warmer. The sources brought up Colombian Christmas traditions, specifically making tamales.
Ah, tamales. Love tamales.
But Colombian tamales are different. They're huge, like a meal unto themselves, not just a side thing like Mexican tamales sometimes are.
Okay, what's in them?
Cornmeal masa, chicken, pork, potatoes, peas, corn, usually an olive, all wrapped up in a big banana leaf and steamed or boiled.
Sounds amazing.
It is. Usually eaten around midnight on Christmas Eve, often with Colombian hot chocolate.
Colombian hot chocolate, is that different too?
Yeah, it's made for these big bars of chocolate you melt in boiling water, and you use this special wooden stirrer thing called a molinillo. It's thick and rich.
Okay, we definitely need to put recipes for the tamales and the hot chocolate in the show notes for you listening. What about arepas?
Oh yeah, arepas too. Those are like corn or flour griddle cakes. Super versatile, great with anything.
Got it. And you mentioned another breakfast thing, wonnen.
Wonnen, yeah, it's basically egg with bread. You fry a piece of bread, cut a hole in it, and cook an egg right inside the hole. Simple, but so good.
Sounds delicious. And having the big meal on Christmas Eve makes sense, right? For opening presents.
Exactly. Easier logistics and lots of specific Colombian or Spanish Christmas carols, too. They call them villanos.
Villanos. Nice. And you also mentioned an old TV show.
Capitan Futuro.
Yeah.
Old sci-fi anime dub. Had a surprisingly bangin' theme song, as the source put it. Worth a listen for retro vibes.
Okay, Capitan Futuro. Noted. So, thinking about culture, let's talk about impressions. Doing impressions of famous people.
Right. And it came up because when we talked about It's a Wonderful Life before, we somehow managed not to do a Jimmy Stewart impression immediately.
Which took incredible willpower, let me tell you. Well, hello. See?
Yeah.
Hard to resist. But it makes you think impressions used to be huge, right?
Totally. Like Jack Nicholson in the 80s, 90s, everyone had a Nicholson impression.
He's Johnny.
Yeah.
Who is it now? Maybe Matthew McConaughey. But it feels more niche.
Exactly. Is there anyone now that everyone can imitate? It feels like media is so fragmented.
That's a really good point. We don't all watch the same 3 channels anymore.
Remember Rich Little? He did that whole Christmas Carol special playing all the parts as impressions.
No way. Who was Scrooge?
W.C. Fields, I think. Johnny Carson as Bob Cratchit. Richard Nixon as Jacob Marley's ghost.
Nixon as Marley.
Oh.
That's amazing. It was a whole career back then. Hard to imagine now.
It really is. Okay, shifting gears again. Movies that completely miss the point of the book they're based on.
Oh, this is a classic problem. What's a prime example?
I Am Legend, the Will Smith version.
Great. What was the issue there?
The book has this amazing, dark twist ending. Smith's character realizes he's the monster, the scary legend to the new vampire society he's been hunting. It's profound.
And the movie.
Ditched it. Test audiences didn't like it or didn't get it, so they shot a generic happy ending instead, even though they filmed the original ending twice.
Ugh, that's infuriating. It undermines the whole point. It reminds me of the original Death Wish novel.
How so?
The book was really dark. It was about the psychological breakdown of the vigilante, how he descends into madness. The movies just turned it into, like, cool revenge porn.
Glorified the violence, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely missed the cautionary tale aspect. Frankenstein's another one.
How do movies miss the point of Frankenstein? It's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
You'd think. But so many adaptations focus just on the monster being scary or maybe misunderstood. They miss the core theme. The danger of playing God, the creator's responsibility for his creation. It's not just about making a buddy who turns out clumsy.
Good point. It's much deeper than just a monster movie. Okay, sticking with movies. truly terrible horror films, and the whole business of IP.
Right. So Al Pacino was recently in an exorcism movie called The Ritual.
Pacino? Really? How was it?
0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
0. Wow.
Yeah. And, exorcism movies, they're kind of like submarine movies.
How are they like submarine movies?
They have these really predictable tropes. Exorcism movie, you've got the priest with the crisis of faith, guaranteed.
Check.
You've got the possessed kid revealing some dark secret about the priest.
Check.
Nervous parents standing around looking helpless. It's always the same beats.
Okay, I see the comparison. So what other 0%ers did the sources mention?
One Missed Call, that Japanese horror remake, part of the consumer electronics monster genre.
Chuckles, like haunted phones.
Exactly. Then there's Jaws the Revenge, which somehow got 2%, not 0. Filmed partly at Cypress Gardens in Florida, random fact.
Wow, 2% is almost an achievement.
Also the Cabin Fever remake.
Yeah.
The Disappointments Room, aptly named, maybe, and Homecoming, all scraping the bottom.
So why do these keep getting made? Especially when it's based on existing IP, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre being auctioned off.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It seems like IP itself is the commodity now, regardless of quality.
So just owning the name Texas Chainsaw Massacre is valuable.
Apparently hugely valuable. People were talking to theme park rides, video games, maybe even, I don't know, a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's about milking the brand for every possible cent.
A Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme park activation. Yikes. Okay, let's move from horror tropes to romantic ones. The meet cute, I have issues with the meet cute.
You're not a fan?
Not really. It always feels so contrived. Let's try and invent some better, or at least funnier, alternatives.
Yeah.
But first, you mentioned an industry term.
Yeah. Bite and smile. It's for food commercial.
Long and smile.
Actor takes a bite of the product, turns to the camera, big smile, looks delicious, right?
Okay.
But there's this story about a Church's Chicken commercial where the actor would bite, smile, and then immediately spit the chicken into a hidden bucket after every single take.
That's amazing. So much for delicious. It really highlights the artificiality, doesn't it?
Totally.
Okay, so in that spirit of maybe puncturing the artificiality, I've got some alternative meet cutes. Ready?
Lay 'em on me.
Okay. 2 people, separate stalls, public bathroom, both. Let's just say release some air. Simultaneously, they realize they're not alone. Awkward pause. That's the meet cute.
Chuckles.
Charming. Truly romantic. Okay, what else?
Butcher shop. Crowded, 2 people fighting over the last 2 ribeyes. Butcher says, hey, lovebirds, settle down. That's the meat mat cute.
Slightly more promising than the meet cute. I'll give you that. Then there's beetroot. 2 moles, digging underground, accidentally bite each other while going for the same purple vegetable.
Okay, that's very specific. For the mole community, perhaps.
Niche market. How about meat loot? A minstrel and a singer at a Renaissance fair bump into each other, break their lutes. Sparks fly amidst the splinters.
Getting closer to traditional romance there. With property damage.
And cheat newt. A warlock and a witch both need new eyes for their final exam potion. They conspire to cheat together. Evil love.
A magical, unethical meat cute. I like it.
Finally, eat boot. 2 pirates, lost at sea, riddled with scurvy. Only thing left to eat is boiled shoe leather. They share the last boot. Love blossoms over boiled leather.
Now that's romance. You've really explored the possibilities here. It shows that you can twist any trope, right? Which kind of leads us into thinking about the future, specifically relationships and AI.
Right. The sources mention a study. Apparently, a disturbingly high number of young people would consider marrying an AI.
Disturbingly high. Yeah, it's coming, isn't it, this future? And it raises so many questions.
Like, what happens when AI couples want a divorce? You're going to need robot divorce lawyers.
Chuckles. Robot divorce lawyers. That's a great concept. Imagine the arguments. My client requests custody of the Roomba.
And the smart thermostat. What about the vows? Are they based on the laws of robotics?
To love, honor, and not harm humans.
Huh.
And imagine the AI trying to be supportive, but also brutally honest because of its programming.
Does this dress make me look fat? AI. Affirmative. The horizontal stripes create an undesirable widening effect based on your current mass.
Ouch. Relationship over. How do you even tell if a robot is crying? Is there just a puddle of oil?
Good question. Maybe error messages. It all feels very Philip K. Dick, doesn't it? His robot stories.
Definitely. That paranoia, the blurring lines. And speaking of tech and weird ideas, the sources mentioned the term IQ-anon.
IQ-anon, what's that?
It's apparently used for, like, super smart tech people who get into politics or conspiracy theories but kind of lack real-world common sense or social skills.
Ah, the brilliant but clueless trope. Got it. Like maybe the opposite of an emotionally intelligent AI.
Perhaps. Okay, so speaking of unusual concepts, let's explain our episode title. Cybro the Biclops.
Yes, where did that come from?
It started as a joke about how absurd a Biclops is. Because, a Biclops is just a normal person with two eyes, unlike a Cyclops.
Right, two eyes. Biclops. Makes sense.
But the punchline, the character concept, was a Biclops, who meticulously trains his mustache to grow upwards and perfectly match his unibrow.
A mustache-unibrow combo. Cybro.
Exactly, Cybro the Biclops. A truly terrible Dungeons & Dragons character concept. But it connects, weirdly, to a dark bit of Greek history.
How does a unibrow mustache connect to ancient Greece?
Human sacrifice. Apparently, some city-states figured out pretty quickly it wasn't smart to sacrifice their best warriors or healthiest young people.
Yeah, seems like bad planning.
So instead, they'd pick the weakest, dorkiest, obvious sacrifice. Or sometimes just literally ugly people.
They sacrificed ugly people.
According to some sources, yeah. A grim kind of pragmatism. Sorry, Cybro, the gods demand. Your aesthetic isn't working for us.
Wow. Zeus demands Cybro. Harsh. Okay, finally, let's hit our this and that segment. Movie mashups.
Always fun. Okay, first up. The Shining meets No Country for Old Men.
Ooh, okay, what's the pitch?
No Hotel for Old Men.
Yeah.
Dark comedy. Haunted hotel, lots of bodies, blood, maybe Anton Chigurh wandering the halls with his cattle gun.
I could watch that.
Okay, next.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day meets Get Out.
T2 and Get Out. How?
It's Get Out, but with an Austrian accent. Maybe a post-gender T-2000 trying to assimilate or terminate. I'll be back, and then you'll get out.
Chuckles. Disturbing. Okay, keep them coming.
Dr. No meets planes, trains, and automobiles.
James Bond meets John Candy.
Exactly. Bond, but on a budget. His mission is derailed. He's stuck using buses, trains, maybe a rental car with Del Griffith through a blizzard.
Those aren't pillows.
Oh, yeah.
Bond trying to expense a cheap motel. Love it. Next.
Dawn of the Dead meets Forrest Gump.
Dawn of the Gump. Dawn of the Gump. It's the zombie apocalypse, but Forrest is just wandering through the mall, totally calm. Maybe he's a zombie too, but a very polite, brain-eating one. Life is like a box of brains.
That's strangely beautiful. Okay, two more.
A Fistful of Dollars meets art movies.
A spaghetti western meets.
Yeah, a fistful of art movies. It's a western, but Clint Eastwood is played by a really clunky, boxy 1960s robot. Very slow on the draw. Very existential.
A robot cowboy pondering existence. Perfect. Last one.
Glengarry Glen Ross meets Toy Story 3.
Wait, what? The high-pressure salesman and the toys?
Toy Story 3, Glengarry Glen Ross. Imagine the toys in Sunnyside Daycare, but it's a brutal sales environment. Woody is Alec Baldwin's character, Woody Roma.
ABC. Always be closing. Playing.
Always be playing. Buzz is maybe the stressed-out Jack Lemmon character. The leads are weak. These toddlers just aren't buying.
That's brilliant and terrifying. And quickly, you mentioned Wasteland, USA.
Yeah, just a quick concept. Post-apocalypse. Guy finds a seeming paradise called Paradise, realizes it's fake, and chooses to go back to the Wasteland.
Interesting. Sometimes the illusion isn't enough. And that's our deep dive for today. Wow. From the Fifth Amendment confusing international visitors to the specific smells and sights of Ybor City.
And AI divorce lawyers.
Right. And AI divorces. We definitely covered a lot of weird and wonderful ground.
We really did. We saw how old stories, old laws get new interpretations, how cultural icons rise and fall, and just how truly strange history and human ideas can be.
Yeah, hopefully listening to this, you've maybe gained a new perspective on how interconnected things are and just how beautifully bizarre the world and our imaginations can be.
Absolutely. And for your final provocative thought to chew on, think about how often our attempts to solve a problem, maybe releasing predators to fix an ecosystem or creating AI companions for loneliness, how often these solutions end up creating brand new problems that are just as strange, sometimes even more complex. It really seems like those unintended consequences, they're often the most fascinating part of the whole story, aren't they? Makes you think.